We've got a lot of great guests on our program today, and we're going to go ahead and get right into one as we welcome on Cole Cubelic of the SEC Network and McElroy and Cubelic in the morning on Jocks in Birmingham. Cole, the time is greatly appreciated. How are you doing today?
Absolutely. I'm great. Thank you guys for having me. I really appreciate it.
You got to be pretty tired right now. you're a busy man.
No, the energy at Media Days always pushes you through. Then you get to your hotel room and you just crash.
There you go.
So the bad news is I'm taking my kids to Pittsburgh for 3 baseball games Friday morning, and I land at 11:05 Thursday night. So,
you got
pray for me.
The work personal life doubleheader.
Yes.
Front of the week work, back of the week personal life. But Cole, again, appreciate the time today. So let's get things going by talking about the Auburn Tigers. Obviously, another era in Auburn with Alex Golesh. The last couple of coaches didn't work out. You go on to Alex Golesh. What are you seeing in the early stages of the Alex Golesh tenure? I know it's obviously pre-gridiron, but what are you seeing that's going to make you more confident about this working out for the Tigers?
Organization, intensity, relatability would be 3 things that I would put towards the front of how he's handled things, managed things, what he's going to be as a leader, as a head football coach. I think those are all traits that he has and has a lot of. I think some of those traits are maybe what the last regime lacked a little bit, and an understanding of I think there's a part of sometimes that guys that come from some of the lower levels, you heard Pete Golding's already referenced it 4 or 5 times today, things he learned not having access to all this staff or all these resources or people to do things for you. You learn how to sort of manage things yourself, and then as you grow into bigger programs, you learn how to delegate, but you never lose sight of what it takes to just win games. I really do think that we're in the dawn of a new era of head coach in this league, sort of, that is capable of moving their egos to the side in order to win games. We went through and still have a lot of coaches in college football that we do this on offense, we do this on defense, this is how we recruit, and if you come into this, you better fit in or else it's just not going to work. Whereas your Alex Golesh, your John Sumrall, your Pete Golding, your Will Stein, I think have the ability, even a Coach Elko who you heard today, that they can say, you know what, they're probably right, we need to move that over. We need to play this guy anymore. We need to run more of this offensively. And I think Auburn fans, as many as any fans in this league that have not had a ton of success recently, have seen glaring moments in their program that the 3 of you, the 5 of us, have sat there and watched our television and say, why in the world is this not happening? How can this not take place in that moment in this game? Or why did that happen at that point in this game? And it's not like it's super complicated football stuff. Like 2 years ago, give the effing ball to 27 and just let him rip. Didn't happen near as much as we thought. So I think that with Alex Golesh, this is what I've said to people about what I believe this season will be. You guys have had me on before. You know I don't do the number thing. It's not 7, 8, 9. I don't play that game. It will be a much more enjoyable watch this year. That might be 5 wins. That might be 10 wins. I don't know what that's going to mean, because for all of that to happen, continuity, chemistry, self-awareness, situational awareness, staying healthy is a massive part of that in today's college football. The ball just flat out has to bounce your way sometimes. It's the reality of it. But I don't think as many Auburn fans will turn games off or walk away from games with near the frustration, win or lose, with the majority aspects of this team as maybe you have the last couple seasons.
Talking about that continuity there, how much, on the offensive side especially, how big is it that you've got so many guys from South Florida that know this system inside and out that are following Alex Golesh over here to Auburn?
It's huge for 2 reasons. One, I believe there are a lot of people, I've talked to some, that see this offense and just think, well, it's sideline to sideline, you run 3 plays, you make the choice of which one you're going to run based on how the defense plays you. The intricate details inside this offense of how to line up, where to line up, when to cut your splits, when to widen your splits, what official to hand the football to when the play is over, which sideline the next play is going to be run towards once you finish the previous play. These are all things that have to be learned. And I had a cool conversation with Golesh here earlier this week, and he said, we've had to think about, there's still 30% of this offense that hasn't done any of this stuff.
Right.
So we got to get them up to speed and make sure they have the understanding and they got it from a baseline training that the guys that are coming with us did 2 years ago, 4 years ago, whatever. But that's going to put them way ahead of the curve. And we see more than ever now, weeks 1, 2, 3 are not what you get weeks 8, 9, 10. Right. It's not even close. But I think the bigger question will be, yes, you're right with the continuity. Yes, that'll get them ahead of schedule. What can you stack on that? What can you build on that? What can you attach on that as the season progresses? That will determine, is this a good offense, an average offense, a great offense, an elite offense? All those things sort of still have to come together. But as far as week one's concerned, should give them some real advantages.
Auburn obviously has had to build this offensive line through primarily the portal, and they've done it multiple times in a row now. Where are you in terms of when you are having to do things through the portal? How difficult is it to build the offensive line you're looking for if you're having to go primarily via the portal route?
I'm going to probably rephrase it for you. I don't think you can build the offensive line you're looking for through the portal unless you are Texas, Ohio State. Who's next in line that spins the way that they do? Because I would say Texas A&M probably even overspent on offensive line in the portal and didn't get exactly what they wanted. They got a lot of reps. They got a lot of experience. You can't just go get the guys that are tailor-made for you. I would almost rephrase it to say, and this isn't your fault, but I would almost rephrase it to say you take what you can get and you hope for the best from a talent perspective. Now, there are different ways that you approach it. We're going to go get the most talented guy. We're going to go get physically the guys that fit what we want to do. And listen, we all fell for this last year. What was it, the number 2 tackle in the portal, the number 5 tackle in the portal, and it's like I'm watching Xavier Chaplin at Virginia Tech. Like, what are y'all watching? Like, Mason Murphy looked twice as good as Xavier Chaplin did to me at USC than what I watched at Virginia Tech, and neither one of them ended up playing well. So I think a lot of it is just, all right, what's the top level of ability that we can find for what we're willing to pay or what we can pay, and how do they fit into what we do? More advantages of a quarterback center that have a relationship, that have played together. I think Ramil Stanton can be a really good football player. I like his Michigan State film. I think he's got good feet, good body control, good body balance, a good punch. He doesn't play super heavy, which at times can get you in trouble in this league. But the good news for this offense, and I don't want people to take this as an excuse, and I don't want people to take this as some sort of sign of weakness, this offense at its core was designed to circumvent great offensive line play. Now, that's like the Bryles wing of it way early on. It was designed for when you play Georgia, Alabama, Ohio State, Michigan to say, we can't deal with that. How do we circumvent it? We're going to spread you out. We're going to lighten your box, and then we'll try to run at you that way. We're going to go fast, and we're going to wear you down. We're going to gap scheme things where we can angle you and pull around and get your linebackers out of position. Now, you look at what Tennessee has done. You look at a couple of other teams and how they manage it. They've added a more physical aspect to it. But I think that if you're looking to build your offensive line through the portal, you're probably in trouble. Unless you can do it the way that Golesh did, where he's got 3 guys coming in that played for him before. I don't think more than 2 of those are going to start, but it does give you some advantages and a bit of a head start.
Obviously, a key piece on the offense is going to be Byrum Brown coming in. A couple of things. A, what do you like that you've seen from him? And also, you've been very vocal about the throwing motion is completely overblown and you don't care.
Nope.
Quiet those critics and tell us what you like about Byrum Brown.
Well, first off, I don't think they're real critics. I think people that watch 2 passes in warm-ups or a pass at the Manning Academy or one throw from last year. I saw one guy picked out a throw from last year, and then I looked at the game, and he was like 38 or 44 for 380 or something, and I'm like, what are we doing? I mean, that would be like us taking a pitcher that had success and saying we thought his arm level was too low, or taking a batter that hit 40 home runs and saying, well, you know, just the exit velocity is not where we need it. Like, production is production, right. And he's gotten it. And for those that say it won't translate, Diego Pavia came from New Mexico State. Trinidad Chambers came from Ferris State. Like, quarterback can translate. Right. You want to talk offensive lineman, defensive lineman? It's a little bit different because the level of physicality is light years away. Not so much as quarterback when it comes to reading a defense, anticipating a route, making a throw, having accuracy, all those things. First thing, 238. He told me what he weighed in yesterday.
Saw that.
I was like, wow, okay, we will take that. Like, that isn't. And this is something, a little bit of a sidebar conversation, because I would say this about Ryan Coleman-Williams today. I would say it about Lenore Sellers and Nick Harbor yesterday. I would say it about Byrum Brown. We forget to compliment some of these kids for how awesome they are as human beings sometimes. Byrum Brown blew everybody away on the stage yesterday. Comes up, shakes everybody's hand, introduces himself, shakes everybody's hand when he's done, thanks us for being up there. Like, you can see the presidential aspect of him being the quarterback of a football team. And sometimes I just think we get away from, hey, these are still some, all, a lot, I don't know. really good kids, really good human beings. And I think that trickles over when you're the quarterback because you have to lead people. You have to be somebody who sets an example that raises the level of play. There are different ways of doing it. Pavia did it with a, hey, jump on my back and we will go fight everybody in this alley and we'll probably win because I believe that we will. You have other guys like a Jaden Daniels who are like, hey, man, get on board because I'm going to make every throw and make every run. They can't catch me, and the throws are going to be accurate enough that you can't defend them. So there are a lot of ways to do that, and I think he has multiple personality traits that will help elevate people around him. And I expect a pretty big year from him, honestly. I know they don't have a number one big boy X wide receiver. I get it. But I also think in this offense, you don't always have to have that. You can usually take what the defense gives you, find what's going to be there, take that, and then move the football that way.
Talking to Cole Cubelic here on the Wednesday edition of SportsCall. Cole will finish with this. We've got Auburn and Florida this season, week number 3 inside of Jordan-Hare Stadium, a game that used to mean a lot to a lot of people. We've got an every other year occurrence now because of the 9-game scheduling model. Is that enough to build back up rivalries that were like this? And how do you feel about some of these teams that will be playing every other year that, again, once were rivals in the former format? Is that enough to keep the vitriol, keep the rivalry alive?
No. I hate saying that, but no. Here's the thing that I said when all this happened. The reason that playing teams in the West, when I played against LSU, when I played against Mississippi State, when I played against Ole Miss, there were multiple decades of families who suffered through individuals in the other color uniform that burned you. There were people whose grandparents watched whoever at whatever team, like, I mean, there are kids right now whose mom and dad watched Rondell Mealy run all of us, and Cecil Collins run all over us in Baton Rouge. Like, there are parents who tell their kids about Matt Jones running down the sidelines and 7 running backs named Felix in a row that ran for 200 yards against Auburn on a Jefferson Pilot game at 11 a.m. Like, you're not going to get that anymore. You'll still have some of it, but when it was every year, what I think it gave you is when you beat them, it gave you the confidence that we're going to get them next year at their place. Or when you lost to them, you know what, that got us this year, but we get them at home next year. And so we're going to get them the next year at home. And when you lose it annually, some of that it dissipates a little bit, and it kind of goes away and it fades. It doesn't mean those games won't be exciting. It doesn't mean they won't be cool. It doesn't mean that people aren't going to talk about the earthquake game when Auburn and LSU play, or the cigar game, which should always be mentioned when Auburn and LSU play. But it's not going to be like they talk about Auburn, Georgia, and it's not going to be like they talk about the Iron Bowl, because you're getting that one every year. Those are bigger games. I get that, but I think when you got away from having certain games every single year, some of the meaning is just going to be gone, because you don't have that laundry list of guys that affected that game and affected that rivalry. Those memories are going to stay with you forever, each and every season.
He is Cole Cubelic, the SEC Network, McElroy Cubelic in the morning, and, of course, the Cube Show pod. And I know, Cole, I'm sure it's very special to you to be able to take your family to the Plains still. And just, I guess, real quickly, what have those experiences been like? And I know you're working on the Cube Show pod. I think that was new as of last year. Just talk me through some of those endeavors and that activity.
Well, Tuesday Date Night is a podcast that I do with my wife also. It usually comes out on Wednesdays. We're skipping this week because she's in Nashville with her sister and their 3 kids, and I'm here, so it's going to be a little tough to put that together. But we did record one in Auburn a couple weeks ago. We went down for the week, actually. Everybody's like, all these coaches are like, what'd you do this summer? I was like, well, we went to Auburn for a week, which doesn't sound like much of a vacation, but our kids loved it. We went to the facility. Kids got to hit baseballs in the indoor batting cage. We did the father-son basketball camp with Stephen Pearl and Bruce Pearl, and then they did the basketball camps after that. So we just got to go to Botanic and Acre and all the cool restaurants. I'm going to tell you this, the Biscoff banana pudding at Acre, holy hell. If y'all hadn't had that, y'all need to try that. It is unbelievable. Got to go to J&M, got to go walk around and get Tumors Lemonade. We love taking our kids to Auburn. And any chance we get to do that, we want to do that, just to share it with them. We would love, we've looked at trying to move to Auburn. We've looked at trying to get a place at Auburn. But when we get a chance to at least I haven't had a ton of games there. And that's what's hard is I don't get to do a lot of football games with my kids because I'm at a different game every week. you can bet if I am doing a game in Auburn, my family will be there because my wife wants to get there and the kids want to get there, and we're going to take advantage of it when we can. So it was cool to spend a lot of time down there and just do some different things. It was great. We had a great time.
That's awesome stuff. The former Auburn Tiger, Cole Cubelic, with us today. Cole, again, we appreciate the time.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.